Hello, everybody, and welcome to We're Getting Naked. I believe this is episode number 6, and we have a very special guest, a guy I've known for a very long time, before his hair was gray and my beard was gray. We have Ed Marinaro here from Blue Mountain State and a bunch of other shows and sports. Ed, it's always nice to see you, and I'm glad we finally got to do this. I know we had some technical difficulties in the past, but what? Tell us a little about yourself, because I know you, but take us from just football to now, but not 45 minutes of that. Just like
Oh,
Cliff
I
Notes.
prepared this whole deal. I mean, the it's
If I
2 hours.
let you go, this will be a 4-hour podcast.
Well, the show's 2 hours, right? No, well, let me see. When we did Blue Mountain State, I was still living in Los Angeles,
That's right.
and we would go up to Montreal for 3 months every summer, which was
Mm-hmm. The
is
best.
I think we all agree it was one of the greatest places. It was great memories. It was fabulous. Anyway, not long after that, and as a result of that, we moved from Los Angeles to Charleston, South Carolina, and I think my wife, who was a native Los Angeles girl, I think going up to Montreal and getting outside of LA and just being, she was just so used to LA, she realized that she could live someplace else and be happy.
Yep.
And then when we looked, we wanted to go someplace where, I wasn't looking to go up. No, I wanted to come back east because I'm from the East
Right.
Coast. I
Right.
wasn't going to go to the Northeast. I wanted
You
nice.
don't. You don't want it. You don't want a winter.
No,
No.
no winter. And
No.
we looked, different places down in the Southeast and came upon Charleston, fell in love with it. We've been here for 14 years. Um, it's very different,
Yep.
obviously, than living in Los Angeles. I have so many more. It sounds funny, and it speaks to the kind of, I don't want to put down LA, but, I mean, I lived in LA for 35 years, and the number of people that I have contact with from those 35 years, I could count on one hand. I mean, it's funny, and you certainly understand it. I did TV series, I did TV movies. I must have worked with 1,000 people. And
Right.
when you're working, everybody, oh, when we're done, we got to go. We
We'll
got
go
to,
dinner. We'll go get drink. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you never see them again. I mean,
No.
everybody is so self-involved, and it's just how can you help me? What can you do for me?
Yep.
You know, and it's I don't know. I mean, hey, I provided a great lifestyle for me, and I got to have some great, memories. I did meet a lot of really interesting people, but you have to understand that, they're just by the nature of the business, there are limitations to,
Yep.
how these relationships will endure.
Well, there's life outside of Los Angeles, and Charleston in general is amazing. I mean, we almost shot the movie there, so we spent quite a bit of time in Charleston. Great food, surprisingly great food, because they
Yep.
have amazing chefs there. Great locations to shoot. Great beaches. Yeah, I loved it there.
Yeah, well,
Um,
it's got a it does the culinary scene here is
yeah,
incredible.
it's great. We have a restaurant out here that just opened, probably like 2 years ago, maybe, called Queen Street, and it's a Charleston inspired restaurant. I think the chef is from Charleston. One of the owners is from Charleston,
Well,
but it's great.
we have a Queen Street down here.
Yeah, I think it's a sister restaurant of that. Yeah, because it's named after Queen Street in Charleston.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, it got so popular though, that a lot of people since I moved here and it started to get really popular. I mean,
A ton of people like Danny McBride, his whole crew moved there. Yeah, they're all.
I got here a little bit before everything started to go crazy.
Yep.
You could just tell by real estate prices and stuff.
Yeah, it's the.
So, but when it became popular, a lot of people came here, restaurateurs, to open restaurants.
Yep.
And a lot of them were in a hurry to open these restaurants. And I'm a bit of a foodie.
Right, right.
Went
I
to
know
the
that.
real school, hotel school, and everything, and it's cooking and food, a little bit of a passion for
You're
me.
a good cook. I got to say, you're a good cook. You cook
I
some
try.
great steaks.
I
I've had
try
some.
hard. I try hard. Any idiot can cook a steak. No, but but
Tell everybody where you get your food. Where do you get your steaks? What do
oh
you swear by?
well, it's my shrine. It's my church. It's Costco.
Yeah.
I'm a Costco guy.
We went to an asado for one of Vita's friends' birthdays, and he was cooking an asado and a big giant piece of meat. And I was like, "Where do you get your meat?" He's like, "Costco." He's like,
Yeah.
"It's the best meat," and it was amazing.
Remember the Costco in Montreal?
I know it's great. You got a TV there, and then you returned it. You get stuff there and return it.
No, but the stuff that they sold at Costco in Montreal was like so exotic.
I know.
Remember, and I made
Crab. They get like
not the crab, the lobsters.
lobsters. Yep.
Remember, I bought these lobsters,
I
these
know.
huge lobsters. They were like $6 a pound.
I know.
It was crazy. Anyway, I think going back to Charleston, I think back, maybe 10 or 15 years ago, restaurants were opening quickly.
Yep.
Okay? Because you have so many choices here. And, this is true of anyone. If you go to a restaurant for the first time and don't have a good experience, you ain't going back.
No.
Well, I think a lot of restaurants make a mistake opening before they're really ready to rush to get open, and you lose customers. And there's several restaurants down here that I went to when they first opened that, I probably wouldn't go back unless, whatever. Anyway,
Is the ordinary still there?
yeah, the Ordinary is still here. There's a couple of them just
I love that place.
yes, yes. Yeah, the guy who owns the place is a friend of mine.
It was a bank, right? It was a bank
Yeah, yeah.
because it
Well,
still has the vault and everything in there.
yes, they had this safes up.
Yeah, yeah. That place is great.
Yeah. Well, again, that's one of the attractions about here. Well, you have the beaches where
Yep.
you have a lot of history,
Yep.
and you have
Some
great.
of it not so good, and
Yeah,
some of it some
well,
of it okay.
you got to take the rough with the smooth, but it is like living in a bit of a bubble. A little bit immune to a lot of the stuff that's going on in the world, in the
Right.
country. Uh, the you know there are a lot of good people. A lot of people are moving here from up and
I mean
moving.
everywhere. Yeah,
Yeah,
no, people
yeah,
moving there from everywhere.
almost to it's changed so dramatically since I moved here. As far as traffic and home prices, it's ridiculous. I mean, it's
Right.
crazy. So anyway, I have in my little bubble. I have my golf course. I can see it from my backyard, and a lot of really good friends from all over the country. But a lot of very successful,
Yeah.
people, and so that's nice. The quality of the people are really good. So keeps me on my toes. I'm probably the dumbest guy.
No comment. No comment, Ed. Okay. You've been on a bunch of TV shows. You've been in locker rooms with NFL players, college players, upper echelon college and professional athletes. Now, when you were in the NFL or even in college too, like you guys you get done the game, you go into the locker room. Does everybody shower together in the locker room? This is very important, Ed.
Well, you know what? It's what's important is back in the day, yes. I
Right.
mean, you got naked, you went in the shower, you didn't even think twice about it.
No, you just walk and then you walk around because
You're
were
being
there reporters allowed in the locker room when you were playing with?
Oh, I think there was a certain period of time when we, especially in the pros, where you had some privacy and everybody took a shower and then they would allow the press to come in, if I remember correctly. But yeah, it's funny you should bring that up because it's so, my son played in
Right.
college, in the locker room scene, no one, everybody took a shower when they were at home.
I don't understand.
Well, yeah, I mean, but yeah, there's, I don't know if it's modesty. I don't know. Uh, I mean, people are cruel today. You know,
No,
they,
I
they
know.
I mean,
I think that's part of it, but I also think too it's gone like the other way. And I talk about this like when everybody who was on the podcast, like it's gone the other way with nudity and sex has gone the other way. Like they're saying like there's barely any sex in movies, and if there is sex in movies, everyone's wearing clothes. No one's you wearing clothes when you have sex ed? No one's wearing clothes.
you know,
It's crazy to me.
well, I think the generation, the younger kids, my son is included, so I kind of, try to keep in touch with what's going on with him, so I know him because
Right.
he doesn't, he doesn't tell me anything, so I have to kind of figure it out myself.
Yeah.
But I think this generation is over sexualized, and there's a lot of pressure on
No,
them
I know.
because of social media and the expectations of. I mean, their statistics show that there's no boyfriend and girlfriends anymore,
Right.
or staying away from
They're not
relationships.
drinking as much. They're not smoking. They're not doing as much
I
many
mean,
drugs.
because of what they see, there's over the expectations of what they're showing these people are so hard to even imagine and achieve that they feel intimidated by
Yeah,
whole scene out there. The standard of beauty, the standard of bodies. That's you feel like you're being compared all the time.
I know.
I don't think I certainly did. You're younger than me, but it was pretty organic, all this stuff when I was of that
But
age.
do you think people are in better shape? Like, like I saw a picture of like, Travis Kelce at the beach, like in the off season. He didn't look like an NFL player. Like, do you think that people like, tight end, you would like, you look at Tony Gonzalez, for example, or Gronk when he was playing, like those dudes were like cut. Like Travis Kelce looks like he's got like a dad bod. And I think too, that's another like I don't know. I don't think these.
I think that's just life. I mean, there were some great athletes who had terrible
No,
bodies.
I know.
Yeah, but so
But were you ever shocked to see, like, were you in the locker room and you, like, first time you saw a guy, you're like, oh, this guy's like really, really good. And he's like naked and you see him, you go like, oh, that's, that's not what, that's
there
not the body that you're presenting on the field, like athletically.
but there are guys who just have incredible strength and physical ability,
Yeah.
who don't have the bodies to match that, and it's a freak of nature to
No, it's
see.
crazy. Some of these linemen, we were watching it yesterday and I was like, oh my God, this dude's like 6'8", 375 pounds, but he's running he's running down these quarterbacks.
I know. Well, look, now these guys are so big, you can't be that weigh that much and not be fat.
Yeah,
You
no,
got
I
to be
know.
a little bit fat. You're not
Yeah.
like a 6'2", 195 pound guy.
Yeah,
You
you
got
want to be like
325.
someone.
You got to have fat somewhere.
You got to be hard to move. You got to be hard to
They
move.
put a lot of fat on lean bodies.
Yeah.
They run quicker, they're faster. The level of athleticism today compared to what I played. When I played, to just give you an example, you're talking about size. When my Viking team that went to
The
two
Super
Super
Bowl.
Bowls,
Two, sorry. Two.
the biggest guy on our team, the heaviest guy, was Ed White. He was a guard. He was 285, and
No.
that was the heaviest guy. Ron Yeri, Hall of Fame, All Pro, 275. We had two guards that were probably 250, and
So
we had
these are tight ends and running backs now.
oh, they're running back. Yeah, I mean, 230 is it's a running back, and the thing that's changed a lot is in my day the running backs were tall.
Yeah, now they're
Now they weigh 215, 220, and they're 5'9".
yeah.
And that's an advantage. And the linemen are all these tall guys. So these running backs sort of can literally hide behind these big old linemen. Their center of gravity is lower. When they're getting hit, when I'm almost 6'3". When I would run with the ball, when I would drop my shoulder, I'd have to really get low to
Oh
drop my.
yeah.
Now these 5'9" running back, they go
They don't have to.
they bend a little at the waist and they're
I
getting
know.
hit up here.
I know.
So it's yeah, getting leverage when you're tall, you got to get down so much lower, and these guys don't have to get down lower. But yeah, and the way they train now is so much more sophisticated, and what now I'm going to sound really old. When I played during the off season, everybody got jobs.
Oh, right. I
Well,
remember you telling me that.
no, these guys today they train. They have organized training year
Well,
long.
they have a physio, they have a strength coach, they have a stamina coach, they have
No,
a
but
nutritionist.
they're required to train for a certain period of time.
Yeah, yeah.
Everything was on my own. Once the season was over, for me, I didn't really work during the off season. But like we had guys who were car salesmen. Our
Right.
captain, Grady Alderman, was a certified public accountant. Fred Co-
Really?
Fred Cox was uh, a chiropractor, a licensed chiropractor. He come around during before the
To the
game.
team.
Well,
Yeah,
no,
realignments.
we're in a hotel in a away game and knock on the door. You guys okay? You want to get adjusted? I said, yeah, Fred, you know, come on our bed. So that was unheard of now. Nobody has there's so much to make what these guys make now. I
It's
probably I
crazy.
no, I would have had to play 227 years to make what these guys make. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Well, it's generational money. I mean, you get 200 million dollar contract. It's generational wealth. Like
And
if
these
you're
guys are
doing
saying it's
something
hard
right.
to live on that. Did you see
No,
the
I
one?
know.
It's hard to live on $100 million.
I'll show you how easy it is.
Yeah, you know, I mean,
Yeah,
you know,
but
there's something to be said about, you know, my generation, definitely old school. It's hard for me to relate on any level with these players today. I mean, with the kind of money they make, what's a little bit,
I mean, I was reading this article about college players. This college kid is transferring from Ole Miss to LSU or Texas A&M, and they're going to give him $8 million this year. Drake May, who just won his first playoff game in the NFL, is not even making on his rookie contract. All these rookies in the NFL are making less money. But I think what I think the NIL is doing for these players, whether they're getting their diplomas or not, is they're keeping them in college way longer than if they didn't have an NIL deal because they're leaving in sophomore year, right? Every player who wants to go in the NFL is leaving sophomore year. Now these players are staying 4 or 5 years because they can make more money than they can in the NFL and also get their diplomas.
well,
So that people don't talk about that part, which I think is interesting that they're staying in school. Again, I don't know what the graduation rate is, but I think it's a lot better, I would assume, than it is when there was no NIL and you're two and out. Like
okay, well, I hear you. And here's my observation with that. I think guys, you know, NIL money, um, if you're the pro scouts will determine when you are ready to go in the NFL. You know. And
right,
if you stay in college, if you're a good enough player, even if with NIL money, you're getting the NIL money because no pro team is telling you you can make that kind of money.
right, right.
Okay. Um, the thing that I hope doesn't happen is they can pay you $100 million NIL money, but it doesn't guarantee that you're going to make it in the NFL.
No,
Okay, no. And like you said, a lot of them, if you had $100 million in the bank, why would you go back and get a degree? Number one. And I think that it's sort of scary to see a generation, and this is a pretty new phenomenon, to see a generation with no job, no skills, and $100 million.
no, no. Yeah,
That
that's
that
when you.
that's scary. What can happen, and history will show you. I mean, there are a lot of guys, 15, 20 years ago when they would make like some of the greatest athletes of our time. Mike Tyson broke. You
Right.
know, you sometimes you can be too young to have that kind of money,
No, I
and
agree.
you need some really uh, honest financial advisors.
They're starting to do that now. Yeah, every
No,
school
I
now
think
is
the
having a.
NFL, it's bad for I think it's bad for the league if too many of these guys become, you know,
Well,
hard.
because yeah, they did the study on it where it was like 25% of NFL players 5 years
They're
out
broke.
of they're broke, and no one's. But they college is getting better. They have financial advisors now for the teams. Um, but yeah, but obviously, everyone comes with a handout, so their hands are out looking to get paid. Your family, your friends. I mean, that's why I'm doing this podcast. That's the reason for this call is to see if how much you want to donate to the podcast.
Lend me some money. No, to continue a little bit of what we're talking about, the one thing that I sort of am in favor of is the transfer portal. Because the reality is, for most kids, if you get a scholarship to to play football in college, okay, if
Right,
you're good enough to get a scholarship, you have dreams of going to the next level.
right.
If you're recruited by, you know,
The
college,
Division One,
a
right,
division, even whatever, you are it's been you've been validated a little bit as far as your ability goes. Not everybody gets football scholarships. If you're getting a football scholarship,
right.
you're a good player, and you can, you're allowed to dream a little bit that you don't go to college to play football and not have hopes that you could be
You
a
make it
football.
to the NFL, right,
95% of the kids have those kind of dreams. Okay,
right.
now oftentimes you can go there and be behind somebody for whatever, and
And it could be 4 3 4 years. Yeah,
Tom
yeah,
Brady is a perfect example
yeah.
of a great
He had
talent.
the one. He had the one bowl game that
Yeah,
he showed.
but if Bledsoe doesn't get hurt, you don't know how much longer they keep him around
Yeah,
as a
yeah.
Patriot.
Well, even in college though,
Yeah,
he was
right.
stuck behind a bunch, two or three different quarterbacks.
And there are dozens and dozens examples of that on every team. What I
Yep,
think about the transfer portal is, if you can go someplace, even go from Division 1 to Division 2 and play. If you don't play, it sucks.
right.
Being on the bench, if you could put 4 years in and never really get to play, it's terrible. It's
Yep,
very unfulfilling. I can't imagine. When I played in the NFL, I played 6 years, and I was first string half of the games. I was
really,
I was first string half the games, and when I was second string, I was miserable. When I
right.
didn't get to play, I hated going to
Well,
practice.
yeah, no,
You just feel like a loser.
yeah,
So I think it's good for these players to maybe go someplace where they have a better chance to play.
yeah.
And that's why I like the transfer portal. I mean, I think that the NCAA should put some limitations about how many times you can do it.
No, I also think they should put some limitations on when you can do it too. Like I think some of it is, yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Anyway,
Um, we need to talk about you have some crazy stories. You've told me some crazy stories before. I need to hear one story that you either have never told or you're dying to tell. Like I said, you've been in locker rooms, you've been on sets. You got some crazy stories of people being naked. I've already heard a couple of them. I need to hear one story either. It doesn't have to be you, it can be somebody that you saw, but one story, famous person you saw naked. You've seen some crazy people naked, Ed. I need to hear one. And you've seen me naked. I mean, I've never even, I don't know why we didn't write you.
naked though.
That's true. And I wrote it for myself. I don't know why we never wrote you with your shirt. We never saw your shirt off. Did we? No.
Uh,
I don't think you ever had your shirt off on the show.
I'll tell you one thing though. I've
Have
been
you been naked on a set before?
on any set.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
What were you naked in?
Did a
Tell me this
movie.
story.
I did a movie where I had a. It was the first movie that I ever did where I was in bed with a girl, and the girl, she was naked, and they showed her breasts.
Right.
Okay, and she
How
was a.
old were you? How old were you?
I forget. I wasn't young. I was probably in my 30s, and this was a.
What do you mean that wasn't young? That's young.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, when I mean, I was my second career, so that's why anyway, I was doing this love scene with this girl. She was kind of young, and I'd never done this a scene where I'm actually with this, you know,
Oh yeah.
and it's so businesslike, you know, and I'm sort of like, okay, so is it okay if I put my hand here? Yes, she said, well, I'm going to kiss where would you like me? And getting very
So you're
technical.
having this conversation. What, are you in bed already, or is this
Oh
before the
yeah, yeah.
scene?
Where is it? And I remember Joe Namath. All right, Joe Willie was he was a good friend of mine, still is, and he did a couple of movies, and he was, I think he did one movie with like Anne Margaret. I mean, we're talking about
Right, right.
a while ago, and I remember saying, Joe, when you're doing these scenes, these movies, don't you get excited? Don't, I mean, you get,
Yeah, yeah.
and he goes, Ed, let me tell you what it's like. You're in bed, you're half naked, you're with this beautiful girl, you're looking at her, and there's a guy over your shoulder go, all right, now put your hand on. He says, it's pretty hard to get excited when you have somebody
Yeah,
talk.
yeah, you got 30, 40 people, 50 people looking at you.
Yeah, those love scenes are overrated, I'm sure. I got that. I've been pretty lucky. I've been in movies where, believe it or not, I was like considered a bit of a heartthrob.
Yeah, I know. I
Back in the
remember talking to, who were we talking to? I forget who we were talking to. It was like, oh, I mean, who has a crush on you is Katie's mother.
day.
Every time you would come to set, she's like, oh my God, there's Ed. Can we
Well,
talk to him? I'm like, yeah, you could talk to him. I mean,
maybe 30 years ago when somebody's mother had a crush on me, it would be okay. But yeah, I mean, my last love interest on television was Denise Richards.
oh, that's right.
I mean, when I
She
think,
looks good. She still looks
well,
great.
I mean, when I think about how lucky I am of the women
I
that
know.
played opposite, uh, you
You're
know,
welcome.
well, thank you. She was, she was,
No, she was cool too.
yes, she was.
She was really cool.
She got into the
She was
spirit of
fun.
when
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
he
It
gave
took
me
her a second to get loose, and then she was like, "Oh, this is just like a bunch of friends hanging out filming a show." Like,
when we simulated the blowjob under my desk. You know what? I got to tell you, when people talk about Blue Mountain State and everything, the reason why it was, certainly this is like after the fact, as you probably know, we didn't know what we were doing when we were doing it. We never
no,
expected it to be what it is. But now, in reflection, and I credit you and Falky, and it was so crudely uh, clever. That's a word that people don't
no,
really.
they don't put them together.
It
Yeah,
was clever. Some of the funniest stuff was so funny because it was clever. It wasn't in your face, and people you would think that the show would be like a lot of sophomoric humor,
right,
and
right.
there was a certain amount of that,
Of course.
but there were some clever things, and that were crude but so freaking fun. And I always bring up the pocket pussy episode.
Yeah, yeah,
Brilliant. That was brilliant. And if you told somebody who never watched the show, you have to watch this episode. It's about a pocket pussy. They go, what the?
No, that's when people tell me that they got their girlfriend or friend to watch the show. They're like, "Yeah, I don't know how I convinced them because I started telling them about the episodes. Like, I don't want to watch that." I
It was
know
it was so much
it was crazy.
it was so much fun doing it. Enough blowing smoke up your ass.
Oh,
That was fun. Um,
no,
yeah,
that was great.
like comedy is a lot more fun to do.
Oh,
The
way more fun.
work process than doing drama. Drama, I've done enough dramas where it's just very heavy-handed, serious, and everything. But going to work on a comedy is like just fun, even though it's
And
work.
but yeah, I mean our show was just the most fun. It was the most fun ever. The most fun ever. And hopefully there's more to come. Join us every Tuesday for new episodes of We're Getting Naked.